We are often asked how thick certain coatings are with a single coat. There are a number of variables that apply, so there is really no definitive answer. You can, however, protect your gun or other project from excessive buildup of any coating with a few simple precautions. For the pinholes in a receiver or threaded holes, insert a pin or screw prior to abrasive blasting the area. This prevents rounding the holes, getting blasting agent in the holes, and it will promote the uniform appearance of the firearm and those pins and screws. If you want the pins to maintain their original appearance, use a set of slave pins in the holes or make a substitute pin or wooden dowel to fit in its place. For muzzles or chambers, protect the bore with bore plugs, and an empty case or cases can be used to prevent blasting of the interior of chambers and cylinders. Flash suppressors, comps, etc. should be removed and threads protected when blasting near external or internal threads. Simply degreasing with TCE one time may not remove all contaminants. There is often a small amount of lubricant or protectant that is seeped into the threads of barreled actions or under the rib of a shotgun barrel, as an example. The lubricants can seep out during baking and lift the spray-on finish you have just spent your time applying. To prevent this from happening, preheat the barreled action or questionable part to get the contaminants out of the areas. A good rule of thumb is to heat the part 25 to 30 degrees hotter than is required for curing the spray-on finish. Allow the part to cool enough to handle and degrease the part again with TCE to remove the remaining contaminants. The part is now safe to coat, and baking to cure the part should not cause contaminants to seep out under the new finish. Typically, you can't use bake-on finishes on scopes, bipods, or other accessories that have temperature or injected molded parts, plastic, or rubber. Do not bake scopes or optics. You can use Alumhide 2 on most of these, but there are still precautions you have to take to make your project attractive and usable. Disassemble items such as bipods, add-on rails, mounts, or light attachments as much as possible. Treat each part as a separate item when preparing it and coating it. And remember, some parts are best left in the original finish. Do not disassemble your scope or optic. You can leave the scope in the rings if you wish and mask your scope lenses, turrets, or markings that you want to keep in the original color. If you want the camo pattern on the scope and rings to match, mount the scope in the rings before applying your patterns. The caps for the adjustment turrets can be left in place, and after the final coat is set up for 30 to 40 minutes, loosen the cap 1/4 turn to break the finish bond before it cures.